Is go through your practice test. You can use your foldable that we used for that very first section. And you can use the graphic organizer we've been using for those exponent properties. You can use it on your practice test, and I'm going to let you use it on your test tomorrow. Now, we only have today to get through our practice test. I want to make sure we have time to check it too. So we're going to go through it section by section. I want to give you a chance to try. But if you choose to just sit there and not try it, I cannot wait and wait and wait. We can't take 20 minutes to finish the first section. We won't get through it all, and our test is tomorrow. So that first section, guys, we can't really spend much more than about 10 minutes on each section, or we won't get through it, and then you're going to be on your own to review, which I know isn't going to happen for many of you. So for us to be able to review together and make sure we get to try every section and check every section, we can't sit and wait 15, 20 minutes on each section. We can't do that. So try each one. Use your notes. So use your foldable, use your graphic organizer. I'm also going to pass back, you guys took a little quiz after each section. If you look at that practice test, it should look pretty familiar, because basically what I did was take the 4 quizzes we took, I put them on one Word document, and I changed the questions. So you've seen things formatted similar to this before, okay? So I will pass back those little quizzes. Those might help jumpstart you too. You cannot use the quizzes tomorrow on your test though, but it just might help you jog your memory. The only things you can use on your test tomorrow are the foldable and the graphic organizer. And yes, you can use a calculator, and yes, you will need to use a pencil, okay? So what I want you to do is go ahead and try out that first section. At about 8:15, so about not quite 10 minutes, we're going to go through that section. So make sure you try it out, okay? So try out just the first section. So I'm talking about questions 1 through 5. Let's go ahead and talk about that first section. At this point, if we don't have it finished, it was either we made a choice to not do it, or we need to talk about it. All right, so the first one, we come across 10. If you need to, guys, remember, you get your foldable on the test. So if I'm not sure, I can look on my foldable, and I would find that minus means we're going to subtract. The sum of 6 and a number. So if I'm not sure what sum means, again, I can go to my foldable. So we're going to have the sum of 6 and a number. So 6 and, it doesn't matter. Don't change your variable if you used x. Some people used s for some number. I used n for number. I saw a bunch of x's as I walked around. Now, technically, I mean, sum means addition. And I know we didn't do this much when we went through it the first time. If you want, we should actually, if it's a sum, we should actually be grouping that sum together, okay? Now, don't panic. I know tomorrow's test day, and I didn't do a very good job of that. We didn't see many of those when we did this a couple weeks ago. So the sum piece should be grouped together, but that's just something that at this point, if we don't have it, that's okay. If you know that sum means addition, that's going to be great. Is means equals. If you want to, flip your foldable over on that back side. This is one thing that wasn't included on the foldable. If you want to, on the back of your foldable, if you want to write is means equals, go ahead and write that there. So on the back of your foldable, if you want to write is means equals, or if you want to put is equals. If you want to write that on the back of your foldable, then you have that note for tomorrow. That was one of the key words that we didn't get on our foldable, but I know a few people asked me about that today. So if you want to put is means equals on the back of your foldable, you sure can. All right, number 2, 16 is equals some number, whatever you would like. I'm going to use n for number. Shared equally by 7. Shared equally. If you weren't sure what shared equally meant, check your foldable. And we find that shared equally means divided by. How you do your divided by, guys, you've got a couple options. You could do that division sign. You could do a slash. You could do a fraction. Oops. There we go. So it doesn't matter how you write the division, guys. Again, when you test, I'm just looking to see that you know that the phrase shared equally means division. Okay. Number 3, some number tripled. On your graphic organizer, we see tripled is under multiplication. And I know we've talked about getting a triple in baseball or kickball. If you need to write that, if you need to make a note on your foldable what tripled means, make that note. Make that note. I know a few of you did when we went through the section. So tripled, if I hit a triple, I get 3 bases. So you could do 3n. You could do n times 3, whatever you like. Either way is okay. If you put an X for your multiplication sign, that's okay too. Combined with. If I'm not sure what combined means, I check my foldable. And I see combined means I'm going to add. Combined with 2 is 12. So again, guys, it doesn't matter when you do your multiplying. I don't care which way you write it. You can put the 3 right next to your variable. You can do the multiplication sign, the dot, or the X. Remember, we're trying to get away from that X because the X for multiplication looks like an X for a variable. So we want to try to get away from that. Number 4, 2 plus the product means we're going to multiply 8 and some number. So you could do 8 and put the n right next to it. Or you could do 8 and then a multiplication symbol. It doesn't matter. You can put the X for multiplying 2. I just don't have room to write it 3 ways. So 2 plus the product of 8 and some number is the difference of 6 and another number. Difference, I know a few people had to look that one up on their foldables. Difference means we're going to subtract. So 6 and another number. Maybe we use M. Maybe you used X and Y. Maybe you used R and S. Doesn't matter. So 6 minus M. Because it says another number. So it's going to be something different. Last but not least, number 5, the quotient of 10 and some number. If we have to look up quotient, it means we're going to divide. Yep, we're going to divide. So 10 and some number. Again, the division, you could do the little division sign. You could do a slash. You could make it a fraction.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Is 50. Please don't write it all 3 ways. I'm just writing the 3 different ways you could see. Division and multiplication, they just have different options for their symbols. They just have different options. So all of them are perfectly fine. There's no one that's better than the other. There's no one that's going to get you more points on your test. Chase?
You forgot forgot the 13 on number 1.
Oh, I forgot my 13. Thanks, Chase.
That's what I've been trying to tell
There we go. I forgot my 13. Whoops.
Sometimes you make mistakes.
We do. We make mistakes. Even Miss Galley makes mistakes. And that happens. Trust me. Okay. If you need to, guys, we're going to go ahead and do that next section. The next section, this one should not take us a lot of time. So again, if you choose to just kind of sit back and wait, you're going to miss out on getting to try it before I go through it. And that's not going to help you get ready for your test. So let's try that next section. This matches up with your 1.2 quiz. And you know what? I'll leave that top part up there for right now so you can see it in case you need to ask some questions as I come around. And pause. And that means, hey, what does 5 to the 4th power mean? So that means 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. If you use the dots or the X's, that's okay. The simplified part, that means you plug and chug in the calculator. So hopefully we got familiar with that today. 5 to the 4th, what do we got there? 625, is that right?
Yeah, 600.
Awesome. In number 7, we expand. And on number 7, guys, when you have parentheses like that, you can just expand out with parentheses. Negative 2 to the 3rd. Negative 8. 1/8 to the 3rd power. Again, if you did parentheses, if you put the dots, whatever you like. Simplified, 1 over, 512, thank you. Okay, please make sure, first of all, that we stop drumming on our desks. Also, please make sure that for this one especially, I don't want decimal answers. I don't want decimal answers, so if you're not sure how to get that fraction in your calculator, make sure you ask us today. Last but not least for this section, there's 3 12s, so 12 to the 3rd. On number 10, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 5s. I have 1, 2, 3 X's. And I have 1, 2 Y's. So there's our middle section. There's our middle section. Now I know some of you, again, you finished your middle section early. You started working on the bottom. Go ahead, guys, if you haven't had a chance, work on that bottom section. You have a quiz. You have a quiz that looks just like the bottom section. You have your graphic organizer also.
What happens if you put Y or X in the front?
It don't matter, as long as you have the right.
Like, I mean, that's my question.
So you could have started, yeah, always start your number.
Just
Go
going
back
through.
before.
I'm just going through.
Yeah, so it's
Big,
fine.
just small was.
That's fine.
Like, one is the big one.
You still have the same answer, so.
That's right.
Yep.
The ones that
So you're all right.
Like, I do have to double the, small real Why does that go
Yeah,
first?
well, the problem is,
Wait,
I need to make sure we get
why, that's why or why
You could have done that. Just like she did, you could have done X too, but that's okay.
Is it okay if I had for 15?
And again, guys, you have a quiz.
No.
Bring headphones.
When is your test? Oh yeah.
There it is. You guys have a quiz that looks very, very similar to this section. And I know a lot of us rocked this quiz.
Which one? Question.
1.3 quiz.
Do the questions go in agreement?
1.3 quiz. You also have your
I got
graphic
an A in this
organizer.
class.
Yeah, I think they're a small portion, but like she said, the big.
I know some like Miss Golly, I'm dying for a break. Well, my people that are dying for a break are also the ones that just keep sitting there when we ask you to start things. The
Okay,
faster you start them, the less time it takes us to get through them, the more time we have to take breaks. Today, guys, I have to make sure this can't be something that spills over into tomorrow. Because tomorrow is 100% your time to test, so nobody is rushed. or if people need things read, we can read them things. I can't have this spilling over into tomorrow. So if you're like, oh, I need a break, then you need to get going. I can't give breaks if we spend our time sitting and waiting to start things. Like some people still have not tried question 11 yet. And I know you're some of my same people like, I want to take a break. Well, don't sit there for 5 minutes before you even start the first question. That's our break time. The longer you sit and wait, that's our break time.
Last year, I hadn't passed the math. This year, now it's social studies. Switched around. Yes, math was one. Well, for me it was usually 4 period. So
Because Julia gives me a surprise. Trinkles. Yeah,
it was kind of weird.
that's a
Because
snack for Johnny. Yeah.
last year I was
And Julia
Had
shut
to
that
have
for the rest, but
and
I did not
A
eat the
and
whole thing. But
social studies.
So.
Now this year it's flipped around.
The whole thing, can't they?
Yep. And both of my math that I studied were in.
I
It's
like
just
those two on.
it was the
What's the
It's
favorite
good, right?
name?
the original.
teacher was working too fast.
Flavors of the thing, no.
That's
Nemo?
Cherry.
Nemo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get that.
Nemo didn't teach anything.
They got that.
No, he was
barbecue
teaching,
spicy
like,
one.
lectures
You're
and
not
stuff.
He
like-
got fired. He didn't teach anything.
Who did I get?
Another one.
Tim Neiman.
Mr.
Well,
Neiman.
they got the wavy one too.
What's the wait?
Tim Neiman.
Dumb. He got fired?
He got fired.
He got fired.
Dumber than
Drew.
Drew. He's dumber than dirt.
I think they're just.
Why did he get fired?
wavies.
Because he wasn't doing anything.
Well, he
That's
was.
chocolate chips,
Just
okay.
people weren't getting.
Pringles.
People weren't getting what he was saying.
Oh no.
No, they're coming Friday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Practice on the jar
There's
though?
that fun.
I'm waiting for my football.
Yeah,
I
I
need
know.
to play Iron
That's what
Man.
also happens when I open my windows in the morning. I get
I need my
bugs.
foot pedal.
Looks like
to make
a
it sound cool.
Kill it.
It's under the deck.
When you get going,
That's
you
on
look
Jerry.
Okay, I
for it.
already killed one this morning.
We don't want any mosquitoes stuck on what?
I don't remember where I was.
I already killed one of them this morning.
It's not TNT. I don't remember. All I know is how to play it. I know the chords and stuff. No.
9?
Well, I do. It's like it's hard to say it. I don't know what it's called. I know the song.
That's easy though.
Iron Man. I always play the first 3 parts.
That's what this one's for. I think this one is.
All right, guys, let's look at this bottom section. Let's look at the bottom section, guys. And like I said, today and again, guys, just to reiterate, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for people to get started on these sections. That's why we're starting to run short on time and we didn't get to take that break like we like to. I'm hoping there's some time at the end you just get to kind of sit and chill. And I'm sorry for those of you that you're doing what you're supposed to do. Some people have been done with this sheet for probably 10-15 minutes. I know some people work faster than others, but some of us are just sitting there when we're asked to start trying. The faster you get rolling on stuff, we can take a break. I like taking breaks. I like going for those long walks.
You heard me go like, let's get to work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Try out those back ones. Now the last problems, that's just like the quiz we took yesterday. So if you need to get jump started, look at your quiz from yesterday. Look at your quiz if you need to get jump started. Those properties are also on your graphic organizer too. Those properties are on your graphic organizer as well.
What happens if the negative 4 thing goes 1 on top? But the count goes like.
Yeah, you put them on top because you moved this to the bottom to make a positive exponent. Yeah, you got it.
Like, just as
Yeah, get back to the top.
Again, if you're super stuck, guys, most of you yesterday, you rocked that quiz. Yeah, I don't know that off the top of my head. I don't. I used to know more of those, but I haven't taught exponents in a while.
It's just 0.
Zero. Let's switch it back. It's
This
just one of those where
is
we're gonna
making
do
a positive.
So,
And 4.
yeah,
Got that one.
so it's gonna be 1 over that big number. There you go.
6 was wrong.
Yeah, but you got this one.
That's what I put under.
Remember, guys, something like 19, 20, 21, remember, that base and that exponent have to stay together. Yeah, whatever's not before. Yeah, put that on the bottom, so it'd be 1 over that big number. Yeah, you got it. Remember, guys, base and exponent stay together, so in question 20, the y and the 12, I don't stick the 12 in the numerator and the y in the denominator. They have to stay together. They are together. We're just trying to make the exponent positive.
I got a mini sword. Not saying No, she cracked.
Which makes her. Okay, so when it was negative in the top, you moved it to 5.
So it'd be y.
So you had x to the negative 6, you just made it x to the 1.
So y over 12 over 1. Yeah.
You already have to put it on home.
We got it.
Just y to the 12. Perfect. Moved it up. What's up? Then for this one, just simplify with that.
Hello.
Yep, and then just tell me what number the third is. So I got it. Easy fetch, you got these, Rob? You ready?
Well, dirty.
I don't choose.
Aiden.
Such a surprise.
Carson.
All right, guys. I am going to have to go ahead and go through these. Most of you haven't finished. Some of you, if you chose to not start them, well, I can't control that, guys. Mr. Andrews and I, we can't force pencil to paper. So, all right, for the last section, 9 to the negative fourth, to make it positive, we're going to move it to the bottom. Now, some of you raise your hand and you're like, Miss Golly, did I do this right? How am I doing? I said, yeah, it looks good, but what was the next step that I told you should take? What should we do? Sam, what should we do?
Now we gotta do it 9 through 4 equals.
Yep, 9 to the fourth power. What does that equal?
5, 6, 5, 6, 1.
6, 5?
Yep. 6, 1.
6, 1, thank you. 6,561. Now, if you're on your test, you're like, Miss Golly, what if I just put this part on my test? Is that going to be wrong?
Yeah.
No, because you know what? You're showing me you understand what to do with those negative exponents. This answer, simplified all the way, it's a little better. I'm not going to lie, it is a little bit better. Now, in number 20, this is the big thing I have to stress. The y and the 12, they're stuck. I can't pull apart and just move the 12 to the top because, hey, I want to make that positive. So we have to take the whole thing and move it to the top. The y and the 12 are stuck. Same way in number 21. The x and the negative 9, guys, they're stuck. They're stuck. So to make this positive, I'm going to move it to the bottom. And to make y to the negative 7 positive, I'm going to move it to the top. I ask you to double check yours and make sure you kept the exponents together. Make sure your y is to the 7th and the x is to the 9th. I saw some people just switching the exponents and leaving the x's and y's alone, so be careful. Now, something like 22 and 23, guys, if you forget what something to the 0 power is, what could I do with number 22? Just put it where? I could put it in my calculator. If I'm not sure, now my graphic organizer will tell me that 14 to the 0 power should be 1. But if you need that double check, you guys all just refreshed today. You all showed me today. You know how to enter exponents in the calculator. Double check it. Same thing with 23. 1 over 9 to the 3rd. And I don't know what that is. What's 9 to the 3rd? What did we get, Sam?
729.
729. Awesome. Okay. So tomorrow, guys, on your test, this is what your test looks like. Different questions. On your test, you can use graphic organizer. Make sure you bring it. You can use your foldable. Make sure you bring it. Okay? I want to make sure tomorrow we can get started right away. I know some of us will fly through that test in probably 15, 20 minutes. Others of us, I know we might do a section and we might take a little break for a couple minutes. So make sure, bring all your stuff tomorrow. Bring a pencil.